Well, we got some other projects done, so it's time to start working on the dozer. The first step here is to get it fired up. We're gonna move it up closer to the shop. So we'll pull all of the guards and covers and everything off the machine so we can give it a good steam clean. We'll probably do it a couple times. We have about 35 years worth of grime and grit that needs to be completely cleaned out. Yeah, let's see if this old girl fires up, and then we'll move it over and start pulling the guards off. So you may wonder why I am pulling all the guards off before you pressure wash, and this is the reason. So I have the first of the belly pans on a chain. I pulled the two bolts that you can see way up there, and now it's resting on the chain. But all of this oil came out of there, and there's so much more to go. So now we'll go outside, we'll lower this belly pan to the ground. It's actually hinged on that far side there. And then we'll pull the pin for the hinge and get that pulled clear. And I think there's 3 or 4 more belly pans to go before we're done. And then we'll be able to pressure wash and all the junk will be able to fall out the bottom. So, gonna be messy for a while, but then it'll clean up pretty quick. So let's keep going. So here's my setup on the outside. I have a chain hooked to the track, wrapped around, and I can use this binder to lower it down. I don't think it's actually gonna be that heavy, but that's why I'm doing it. That is such a fire hazard. Not let alone using it for doing fire dozer, but even just as a normal dozer, that's just unacceptable in my book. We need to keep these clean. But there's about 4 inches of mud in the bottom of it. But I can move it just by pulling on the chain. So I'm probably gonna crawl under there and see if I can lower it to the ground. Okay, let's see if we can get the second belly pan out. We've dropped it, but it's very full, as you'll see. Luna, stay away from this mess. I've already found one bonus screwdriver that fell out of that belly pan. I don't know what goodies are going to be in this one, but we'll find them, I guess. If I would have went and pressure washed the machine off with not taking these belly pans out, I would have just been flooding all of this junk and not really getting anything out of the machine. So once we have all these off, I'll actually crawl under there, and it'll be miserable. But I'll crawl under there and pressure wash upwards too. I've done it before. It's one of the worst jobs ever, but we'll do that, pressure wash down from all the ports and angles. Hopefully we get this thing cleaned out. Welcome back to a beautiful Idaho spring afternoon. It's currently hailing and we're going to be working on the dozer. My plan tonight is to start the pressure washing process, and it's going to take multiple days worth of pressure washing to get this clean. Let me show you what I got done. So as you can see, it looks a little different now. We got all the guards and covers off, including like the side panels, all the belly pans. Basically everything stripped off this machine because it was packed with dirt and grease and flammable fuel, basically. I still have to pull the drawbar and that housing off, but we'll just get a start for today. I only have a couple hours to pressure wash, so looks a lot different, a lot rougher condition. But yeah, a whole bunch of panels came off, gives us really good access. Now I can get in and flush everything out. There's one more belly pan cover at the front here. That one's not hinged, so it's a little bit hard to get off. So we're gonna pressure wash out as much of the junk as we can before we take that off. But yeah, she's pretty empty. In the cab here, seat's in a different spot. And I've scraped and cleaned a whole bunch. You could barely see any of those hoses there. There's that much dirt piled up. Both these floor pans can come out. I'm gonna use them to cover up the hole in the floor when I'm pressure washing from underneath, so I'm not blowing water right up into here. But I'll also need to crawl up here and pressure wash down from here to get this cleaned up, because the repair we need is underneath this cover. So here you can see all the dirt crammed in here. All of the belly pans had about 6 to 8 inches of dirt and grime. I don't think that's leaking. I think that's just water dripping off the roof there. And as you can see, it was just crammed in here. And I chiseled a whole bunch of it out. Even like up in here is full. Yeah, she was a dirty old dozer. So we're gonna get this cleaned up. So I'm probably not gonna film any of this pressure washing today just because you're not gonna see anything. And it's rainy, I don't wanna have my camera gear sitting outside. So I'll bring you guys back once we've done a couple rounds of pressure washing and show you the difference. Good afternoon, everyone. It is time to get the dozer into the shop. I spent the last 2 weeks off and on cleaning this thing up, and I've been pressure washing. I've used about 3 IBC totes, or a little bit more, of water, and we've cleaned up and cleaned everything out as best we could. There was a lot of dirt and grime and just makes it really hard to work on or troubleshoot. So let me show you what I got done. So the pressure washer we have has a steam burner in it, basically, so it can heat up the water and make it clean up oil and grease much better. Honestly, a majority of the work was done from laying on my back underneath the dozer, pressure washing upward, trying to get all the drips and all the grease from the bottom side of the machine. That's where it tends to collect. But we also got, this was packed full underneath the fuel tank, so it's nice to get that clean. And this whole battery box is full. There's just gunk and dirt everywhere. About 35 years of dirt just packed in this thing, every little crevice. On top of the transmission housing right here, this was covered with about 4 inches of dirt, so you couldn't see any of the lines or hoses. So it would have made disassembly very challenging. So the other side of the machine, it's looking really nice now too. It's rained, that's why everything still looks wet. But yeah, it'll be easier to troubleshoot and find all the leaks now. In the cab here, I had the seat pulled up and that metal that it's sitting on pulled up for a while. And that allowed me to pressure wash in here, get everything clean. This was hours and hours of pressure washing to get this looking the way it does now. But we're after the torque converter, which is tucked in right down in here. So we'll have to get that pulled once we get in the shop. Okay, speaking of the shop, I'm glad we did the 14x14 door. because this one is 12 foot by 12 foot basically, so not much room to spare. I'm going to drive it. I have to put some boards across the entranceway there to protect the concrete edge. We have some scraps from the mill here just to kind of protect the concrete the best I can. This machine's probably way too heavy for this slab, but it'll have to do. And then we're going to have it parked up at the front of the shop because it's going to take quite a bit of time to get this repair done. And it allows me to have an extra 2 inches of working height because this floor is inset in. So we have to drop the transmission or the torque converter down and let it come out the bottom when we're working on it. So that's why it's going to be up on blocks here. So eventually I'd love to dig a pit so I could service this thing much easier, but yeah, we're gonna get this thing fired up and then wedge it into the shop. Okay, let's get this old grill fired up. Dozer looks a lot bigger when it's sitting up on about a foot of blocking. We made it in. I don't think it was too bad. I'm glad I put these down. You can really see how those grousers chewed them up. We will go through here, clean everything up, and I'll see if I had any concrete damage. I'm also glad we raised the roof of this shop because we wouldn't have been able to fit this in here otherwise. The shop used to be 2 feet, 2 inches lower. So yeah, I wedged it in just tight enough that I can get around the front if I need to. And then, yeah, we're going to be able to start working on this thing. I do have a fairly large leak of transmission oil. You can see it kind of going out the door there. So we'll have to troubleshoot that. That's going to be part of our repair that we're doing here. But yeah, this will be super nice to have all of the space underneath here to work. I can almost sit up now while I'm working underneath there. I will also throw some extra blocking in to protect us. Basically just to keep it, if it rolls over on this blocking, that it will not fall any further. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have put the little 1x boards on top. I was going to shim it up just a little bit, but I did also want these 6x6s are something I want to use for another project, so I don't want to crush them completely. So it'll work. We'll be able to start tearing into this project. I am going to restart the machine and put some blocking under the blade so we're not wrecking this concrete up over here though. So we'll do a whole bunch of cleanup and I'll bring you guys back once we get to start tearing into this project.